Hello and welcome to Number Crunch. In this video we shall review KCSE 2019 Paper 1 Section 1 starting from question 1. Without using mathematical tables or a calculator, evaluate 5.4 over 0.025 times 3.6. So we are supposed to simplify that number, and to do that the first step is to make the denominator whole numbers, and so we multiply the figure by 10,000, both the numerator and the denominator. So in effect it will be like we have multiplied the number by 1. This gives us 54,000 over 25 times 36. Then you can either factorize the numbers in order to simplify, or apply the knowledge of multiplication table. So I've used the route of using the multiplication table. So 54 is 9 times 6 and 36 is 6 times 6. So we can simplify the numerator and the denominator by 6, giving us 6,000 over 25 times 4, and 25 times 4 is 100. So we have 6,000 over 100. The two zeros in the denominator cancels out with 2 zeros in the numerator, and therefore this evaluates to 60. Question 2. Express 1,728 and 2,025 in terms of their prime factors. Hence evaluate the cube root of 1728 over 2025. So the first step, we are supposed to factorize 1728 and 2025, and we factorize by dividing the number starting from the least divisor. So for 1728, it can be written as 2 times 864. 2 can also divide 864. We have 2 by 2 by 432. Then you divide until you have a multiplication of prime factors, and so 1728 can be written simply as 2 to the power of 6 times 3 to the power of 3. Then we factorize 2025 using the same method. We have 2025 is 3 to the power of 4 times 5 squared. If you have a problem performing the division, you can leave a comment. Then we've been asked to evaluate 1728, the cube root of 1728, by the square root of 2025. So it's the same as the cube root of 2 to the power of 6 times 3 cubed over 3 to the power of 4 times 5 squared. Then we find the square root. So for the cube root, we can rewrite it as a power and as an indices, where it's to the power of a third and the square root is the power of a half. Then we open the brackets by multiplying the indices. We have 2 to the power of 6 times 1 over 3 times 3 to the power of 3 times a third over 3 to the power of 4 times a half times 5 to the power of 2 times 1 over 2. Once we simplify that, we are left with 2 squared times 3 over 3 squared times 5. Then we cancel out the 3 in the numerator by one of the 3's in the denominator. We have 2 squared over 3 times 5, which is equals to 4 over 15. So therefore 1728, the cube root of 1728 over the square root of 2025 is equals to 4 over 15. Question 3. Juma left his home at 8:30 a.m. He drove a distance of 140 kilometers and arrived at his aunt's home at 10:15 a.m. Determine the average speed in kilometers per hour for Juma's journey. So to determine the speed, we need to determine the time taken because we've already been given the distance. And to find the time taken, we shall subtract the time he arrived minus the time he left his home, and that is 10:15 a.m. minus 8:30 a.m. Since all units are in a.m., we shall not add anything to the times. Then subtracting, we have 15 minus 30, the minutes. And since you can't subtract 30 from 15, we borrow 1 hour, which is equals to 60 minutes. So 60 plus 15 minus 30, similar to 75 minus 30, we have 45. And having borrowed 1 hour, we shall be left with 9 minus 8, which is 1. Therefore, 10:15 a.m. minus 8:30 a.m. is 1 hour 45 minutes. Then we can convert the 45 minutes to hours. We have 1 hour 45 over 60, which is the same as 1/3 over 4 hours. So that was the time taken. And to find the average speed is equals to distance over time. So we substitute, the distance is 140 and the time taken was 1 hour, 1/3 over 4 hours, which is similar to 7 over 4. Then we multiply by its reciprocal. We have 140 times 4 over 7. We simplify, we have 80 kilometers per hour. So the average speed was 80 kilometers per hour. Question 4. Expand and simplify 4 into q plus 6 plus 7 into q minus 3. You should expand and then simplify. So we start by opening the brackets. We shall have 4q plus 24 plus 7q minus 21. Then we put the like terms together. We have 4q plus 7q plus 24 minus 21. And that equals to 11q plus 3. Question 5. In the trapezium PQRS shown below, PQ is equals to 8 centimeters and SR is equals to 6 centimeters. If the area of the trapezium is 28 squared centimeters, find the perpendicular distance PQ and SR. So you need to recall the formula of computing the area of a trapezium. It is equal to a half h into a plus b. Then we shall let the perpendicular distance of interest equals h. Therefore, our area is a half h into PQ plus SR. We substitute, we have 28 is equals to a half h into 8 plus 6. Therefore, 28 is equals to a half h times 14. 28 is equals to 7h, meaning 7h is equals to 28. We divide both sides by 7. We have h is equals to 4 centimeters. Question 6. Given that the cube root of 9 raised to power 4 is equals to 3 raised to n, find the value of n. We have 9 raised to power 4, the cube root is equals to 3 raised to n. The first step is to factorize 9, which is 3 times 3. So we have the cube root of 3 times 3 raised to power 4 is equals to 3n, and 3 times 3 can be rewritten in forms of bases and power as 3 squared. So we have 3 squared raised to power 4, its cube root is equals to 3 raised to power n. We open the bracket by multiplying the indices. We have the cube root of 3 raised to 8 is equals to 3 raised to n. Then the cube root can be rewritten as an indices, which is a third. So we have 3 raised to 8 into a third is equals to 3 raised to n. Open the bracket, we have 3 raised to 8 over 3 is equals to 3 raised to n. And since the bases are equal, it means the powers are equal, hence n is equals to 8 over 3. Question 7. Three villages A, B, and C are such that B is 53 kilometers on a bearing of 295 degrees from A, and C is 75 kilometers east of B. At A, using a scale of 1 centimeter to represent 10 kilometers, draw a diagram to show the relative positions of villages A, B, and C. We start by making a rough sketch. We have three towns, A, B, and C. If this is our town A, B is 295 degrees from A. So if this is our reference compass, we shall have 295 degrees to B, which is 53 kilometers from A. This is 295 degrees. And then we have C is to the east of B, and that means it's 90 degrees from B. That's our C, and it's 75 kilometers from B. So we represent this using a scale of 1 centimeter rep 10 kilometers. So supposing that this is our point A, and that's our compass, we need 295 degrees to B. And instead of measuring 295 degrees, we can measure the angle between the compass and towards the anti-clockwise direction. If this is 295, that means the anti-clockwise angle is 65 degrees. So we can measure the 65 degrees. Then you join the 2 points. And then measure 5.3 kilometers. You can do this either by using your pair of compass or pair of dividers. I'll use my dividers. So you need to measure 5.3. That is where town B is. This is A. We've established this is 295 degrees. Then we need to find C. We repeat the process by marking the compass. So we have that as our reference. Then we measure 90 degrees. and then we join. And we measure 7.5. This is 53. This is right angle. That is our point C. And this 75 kilometers. This 53 kilometers. Question 7, part B. Determine the distance in kilometers of C from A. To find the distance C to A, we again use the dividers. It is 3.5 centimeters. So AC is 3.5 centimeters. And using the scale, then to scale, it will be times 10 kilometers, which is 35 kilometers. Question 8. A retailer bought a bag of tea leaves. If the retailer were to repack the tea leaves into smaller packs of either 40 grams, 250 grams, or 350 grams, determine the least mass in grams of the tea leaves in the bag. To find the least mass of the tea leaves in the bag, we need to find the LCM of 40, 250, and 350. To do that, we find the dividers of the respective 40, 250, and 350. So we start by 2. 2 results, if you divide 2 by 40, 40 by 2, it's 20, 250 by 2 is 125, and 350 by 2 is 175. Then divide by 2, since 20 is a multiple of 2, we have 10, 125, 175. We can still divide by 2. Then by 5, we have 1, 25, and 35. By 5 again, we have 1, 5, and 7. Then by 5 and 7. So the LCM of 40, 250, and 350 is a multiplication of all the factors that we have obtained, which is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 5 times 5 times 5 times 7, and it's equals to 7,000. We have been asked to give the least mass in grams, and since 40, 250, and 350 were in grams, it means the least mass of the bag is 7,000 grams. Question 9. Given that sin 2x is equals to cos 3x minus 10 degrees, find tan x correct to 4 significant figures. We have sin 2x is equals to cos 3x minus 10 degrees. Then we apply trigonometric identities. Specifically, sin theta is equals to cos 90 degrees minus theta. So applying this identity, we shall have sin 2x is equals to cos 90 degrees minus 2x. So we substitute the sin 2x by cos 90 degrees minus 2x. We have cos 90 degrees minus 2x is equals to cos 3 degrees minus 10 degrees. Cos 3x minus 10 degrees, sorry. Then in this equation, we have the operators are the same, and hence the operands, which are the figures inside the brackets, are equal. And so we have 90 degrees minus 2x is equals to 3x minus 10 degrees. We put the like terms together. We start by subtracting 3x from both sides. We shall have 90 degrees minus 5x is equals to negative 10 degrees. Then we subtract 90 degrees from both sides. We are left with negative 5x is equals to negative 100 degrees. We divide both sides by negative 5, and hence x is equals to 20 degrees. We had been asked to find the value of tan x correct to 4 significant figures. So we have tan x is equals to tan 20 degrees since x is 20. And this you can evaluate using your calculator. You obtain 0.36397, and to 4 significant figures it becomes 0.3640. Question 10. A tourist converted 5,820 US dollars into Kenya shillings at the rate of 102.10 per dollar. While in Kenya, he spent 450 Kenya shillings and converted the balance into dollars at the rate of 103.00 Kenya shillings per dollar. Calculate the amount to the nearest dollar that remained. So the first step is to convert the US dollars into shillings at the rate of 102.10, and therefore for $5,820 we shall multiply by the rate, and it totals to 594,222 Kenya shillings. Then he spent 450 Kenya shillings, and so to obtain the balance we subtract the total amount minus the spent amount, which is 594,222 minus 450,000, and it equals to 144,222. Then the balance was converted back to US dollars at the rate of 103.00. So to get the balance in dollars, we divide the balance amount, the Kenya shillings balance amount, by the rate, and it equals to 1,400.21 US dollars. But we've been asked to give our answer to the nearest dollar, and therefore it's equal to 1,400 US dollars to the nearest dollar. Question 11. Given that B is equals to 2,4, C is equals to 3,2, and A is equals to 3C minus 2B, find the magnitude of A correct to 2 decimal places. So we've been given the coordinates of the vectors B, C, and A, and we need to find the magnitude of A. We first compute the coordinates of A, and A is equals to 3C minus 2B. We substitute the C and B. We have A is equals to 3 into 3,2 minus 2 into 2,4. The 3 and 2 are scalar quantities, or the enlargement factors of the vector C and B. So we are going to multiply the 3 with both the values in the brackets and the 2 as well. And so A is equals to 9, 6 minus 4, 8, which is equals to 5, negative 2. So in other words, vector A has coordinates 5, negative 2. Then we've been asked to find the magnitude of A, and obtaining the magnitude of a vector is similar to obtaining the hypotenuse in a right-angled triangle. And by using the analogy of a right-angled triangle, the values of the shorter sides are 5 and negative 2. So to find the magnitude of A, which is similar to computing a hypotenuse, will be the square root of 5 squared plus negative 2 squared. and that is equals to the root of 29, which is equals to 5.3852. And we've been asked to give our answer to 2 decimal places. So it's approximately 5.39 to 2 decimal places. Question 12. Using a ruler and a pair of compass only, construct a rhombus PQRS such that PQ is equal to 6 centimeters and angle SPQ is equal to 75 degrees. Measure the length PR. Starting from a rough sketch, we've been told that PQ is equal to 6 centimeters and angle SPQ is equal to 75 degrees, and we need to construct a rhombus. So assuming this is our rhombus, where all sides are equal, we can label this as our P, Q, R and S, and angle SPQ is 75 degrees. So this is what we need to construct, and PQ is 6 centimeters. So we can start by the line PQ. If we mark that point as our P, we need to measure 6 centimeters. So that is our point Q. Then at P, we need to construct angle 75 degrees. To construct angle 75, we construct angle 90 and angle 60, then we bisect the two. So we'll start by constructing angle 60, and to construct angle 60, using a small radius, you mark on the line and you mark using the same radius. Then you move the compass along the line that you mark, along the line and your arc. Then you make another arc, and where the two arcs bisect, that's where you form angle 60. So that is angle 60. Then you construct angle 90, and to construct angle 90, you can use the same radius or a different radius. So using the same radius, I've marked on this side and I'll mark on the other side of the line. Oops, my radius is too big, so we adjust. Then you mark on both sides of the line, then increase the radius, then you make an arc and another arc. Then you join P to where the arcs bisect. Now we have our angle 90 and angle 60. So we need to bisect this angle, since 90 minus 60 is 30 and we are interested in finding 15. So I can adjust my radius again. You make an arc on both dotted lines, then increase the radius. You mark Now where the two arcs bisect, that's our angle 75. And now you join with a solid line, because that is our line of interest. At point Q, we shall do the same, since the outside angle of Q, this angle will be 75 degrees as well. So we can construct angle 90 and angle 60 at point Q, but on the outer part of the rhombus. So we repeat the same process. Can start with 60. Then 90. Then you bisect the two. Then now you measure 6 centimeters. Mark there, and you mark. Then you join the 2 points. That becomes our point R, that is point S. Then we have been asked to measure PR, the length PR. PR is equals to 9.5. And PQ is equals to QR, which is equals to RS, which is equals to SB, 6 centimeters. Question 13. Solve the inequality 2x minus 1 is less than or equals to 3x plus 1, which is less than 7 minus x. The inequality is 2x minus 1 is less than or equals to 3x plus 4, which is less than 7 minus x. So we begin by solving the lower bound of x, and we do that by taking the first part of the inequality, which is 2x minus 1 is less than or equals to 3x plus 4. Then we put the like terms together, and since it's the lower bound, we are going to take x to the right hand side. So we subtract 2x on both sides of the inequality. We are left with negative 1 is less than or equals to x plus 4. Then we subtract 4 from both sides. We have negative 5 is less than or equals to x. Then we look for the upper bound of x using the two inequalities. 3x plus 4 is less than 7 minus x. We put the like terms together, take x to the left hand side, so we add x on both sides. We obtain 4x plus 4 is less than 7. Then we subtract 4 from both sides, and we have 4x is less than 3. Therefore x, we divide both sides by 4. We have x is less than 3 over 4. Then now we combine the two inequalities, and we obtain x is greater than or equals to negative 5, but it's less than 3 over 4. Question 14. Given that A is equals to 2, 3, 4, 4, B is equals to x, 1, 2, 3, and AB is a singular matrix, find the value of x. We're supposed to compute the value of x, and to do that, we'll start by evaluating the matrix AB, which is a multiplication of A and B. This results to 2x plus 6. Since in finding the value, the AB matrix, you multiply the row in the first matrix by the first column in the second matrix to find the first element, which is 2 times x plus 3 times 2. Then for the second element, you multiply the first row by the second column, which is 2 times 1 plus 3 times 3. It results to 11. Then the third element will be 4 times x plus 4 times 2, which is 4x plus 8. Then we have 4 times 1 and 4 by 3, resulting to 16. Then the next step, we find the determinant of AB, and we find the determinant by subtracting the cross elements. So the determinant of AB will be 16 into 2x plus 6 minus 11 into 4x plus 8. We open the brackets, we have 16 times 2x is 32x plus 16 times 6, 96, then minus 11 times 4x, which is 44x, then minus 11 times 8, which is 88. We put the like terms together, and it results to negative 12x plus 8. We have been told that AB is a singular matrix, and that means that its determinant is equal to 0. Then we equate the determinant we have obtained of AB, and so we have negative 12x plus 8 is equal to 0. We solve for x. We start by subtracting 8 on both sides of the equation. We have negative 12x is equals to negative 8. Divide both sides by negative 12, and therefore the value of x is equals to 2 over 3. Question 15. A trader bought two types of bulbs, A and B, at 60 Kenya shillings and 56 Kenya shillings respectively. She bought a total of 50 bulbs of both types at a total of 2,872 Kenya shillings. Determine the number of type A bulbs she bought. We need to find the number of type A bulbs, and we've been given the respective prices and the total number of bulbs she bought. So we shall let A represent type A bulbs and B represent type B bulbs. We know that the total is 50, so A plus B is equals to 50, and the prices were 60 and 56, and the total was 2,872. So 60A plus 56B is equals to 2872, and we shall let that be our second equation. We need to evaluate the value of A. So from equation 1, we know that A plus B is equals to 50. So we shall represent B in terms of A by subtracting A from both sides of the equation. So B is equals to 50 minus A. Then from equation 2, we have 60A plus 56B is equals to 2,872. And since in equation 3 we obtained B as 50 minus A, we shall substitute B by 50 minus A. Then we open the bracket, we have 60A plus 2800 minus 56A is equals to 2,872. We put the like terms together. We have 4A plus 2800 is equals to 2,872. We subtract both sides by 2800, and therefore 4A is equals to 72. Divide both sides by 4, and our A is equals to 18. Therefore, she bought 18 bulbs of type A. Question 16. A bus plies between two towns P and R via town Q daily. On each day, it departs from P at 8:15 a.m. and stops for 40 minutes at Q before proceeding to R. On a certain day, the bus took 5 hours 40 minutes to travel from P to Q and 3 hours 15 minutes to travel from Q to R. Find in 24-hour clock system the time the bus arrived at R. We've been told the bus leaves at 8:15 a.m. and 8:15 a.m. in 24-hour clock system is 08:15 hours. Then we've been told that it arrives at Q. It takes 5 hours 40 minutes to arrive at Q. Therefore, the arrival time at Q will be 08:15 hours plus 5 hours 40 minutes. In terms of addition, that will be a direct addition, since if you add the minute side, 15 plus 40 is 55, which is yet to be an hour. So the arrival time at Q is 13:55 hours. Then we've been told it stops at Q for 40 minutes, and therefore it departs at Q at 13:55 hours plus 40 minutes. If you add the minute side, you have 55 plus 40, which is 95. That's more than an hour, so you subtract 60, which is 1 hour, then you carry it over to the hour side. So we shall have 14, then 95 minus 60 is 35. So it departs from Q at 14:35 hours. Then it takes 3 hours 15 minutes to arrive at R. So we have 14:35 plus 3 hours 15 minutes. That's also a direct addition. In the minute side, we have 35 plus 15, which is 50. And on the hour side, we have 14 plus 3, which is 17. Therefore, the arrival time at R is 1750 hours. Do you still have an unanswered question? Leave a comment or write an email to guruinmaths@gmail.com and we shall respond within 24 hours. Otherwise, subscribe to receive timely KCSE Mathematics Revision resources.